Hi gang, Rob here. It is the evening of 18 January 2024, Thursday night, 9 o'clock. Time for a knife sale on the Apostle P channel, and a knife sale we shall have, and it's a monster. Lots of awesome stuff. I think we got 32 knives and a couple watches tonight, so it's going to be kind of a long one. Before we get into the meat of it, let's do a little bit of housekeeping as usual. First up, I need you to be familiar with and agreeable to the terms of the sale. I'm going to post them on the screen for you in just a moment. I will also print them in the description underneath this video so you can take your time and peruse them. Especially if you're new, you want to be very familiar with them. It'll make your purchase experience go much more smoothly. Also, in the description underneath this video, you're going to see 3 links at the very top above the terms of the sale to previous videos on this channel. The first one, also pertinent to you if you're new, it's called A Primer for Buyers. It's a 38-minute expanded explanation of the terms of the sale. Explains how we do things and why every Thursday night. The second link is to my FAQs for Consignors video. If you're interested in using this weekly sales vehicle to move along some of your collection, you want to watch that. It gives you all the pertinent information if you are a potential consignor. And then the third link, as always, is to my rates and services video for the TheApostleP Knife Service, the original precision sharpening service for the online knife community. And it's a good time right now to send in knives for sharpening, as my backlog is almost down to 2 weeks, so you won't have to wait very long. So the last thing in that all-important video description is the inventory list, which is at the bottom, complete with timestamps on the left, pricing on the right. You can click on your timestamp and jump right to the knife you want to look at. In the right-hand column, the pricing column, you're generally going to see 2 numbers. The one on the left, the price of your knife as shown in the video. The one on the right is the price of your knife as sharpened by the TheApostleP Knife Service. If you do want your knife sharpened before I send it, there will be room for 5 knives to be sharpened next day, tomorrow, Friday, and they will ship with the as shown inventory tomorrow. If you fall outside the first 5, not to worry, backlog is low. If you see the word sold, all caps exclamation point, instead of a price, that means the knife you're looking at has been bought and paid for by its new owner. No need to send an inquiry or an I'll take it on anything marked sold. Let's see, I think that's about it for the housekeeping. Let's get the terms up on the screen for you, and then we'll be right back with the sale. Here are the terms. All right, let's get to it, shall we? First up, we have just 3 leftovers from last week. We will do those first. The first one is from Artisan Cutlery. And it's going to say a model number on the tag of 1707 GS-BU. It is the small shark from Artisan. And here it is. Somebody's going to get a screaming deal on this knife. We sold a couple weeks ago the large version of this knife, which, I don't know, for a pocket knife, I think the small one is a better choice. And somebody's going to get a really good deal. So we have a blue anodized titanium handle. It is a titanium frame lock knife with steel lock bar insert and over travel stop. Milled titanium pocket clip, also in blue. Reversible ambidextrous tip up. Carbon fiber inlay on the show side. It is a ball bearing flipper, nice little spear point blade. That is saber flat ground. It is an S35 VN, 3 1/8 long, 4 inches of handle. There's your lock engagement. The lockup is dead rock solid. The ball bearing action smooth and free. The centering is perfect. Very near mint. Really not a... Yeah, there's one little nick right at the corner of the lock bar. Other than that, she's pretty good, boys. So let's see. These are currently available for a web retail of $165. We ran this one last week at $115. Didn't sell. Dropped it to $99 for the weekend. Here's your second week price, $85 like it is, $110 with my edge on the Artisan Cutlery Small Shark. Next up, For all of you collectors who are, you know, let's say half a century old, you should appreciate this knife. It's from SOG, back when they were actually sort of a premium pocket knife company, on par with Spyderco and Benchmade. This knife made between 1991 and 96. It is the Air Midlock from SOG. Pinned construction, FRN handle molded in checkering. That's actually quite effective. Thumb stud deployment, kind of stiff, strong spring. We have kind of a California clip blade in AUS 6 steel. Saber hollow ground, nice swedge on the clip, single-sided thumb stud. Blade length 3 3/8. The handle is 4 1/16, or I guess it's 3 1/8. Sorry. Lockup is dead rock solid. Blade is pretty free when the lock bar is released. Centering is very close, but favors the left slightly. Let's see. I think it might have been lovingly sharpened, and it's actually pretty sharp. So made in Seki City, Japan, long discontinued. Sold listings on eBay for this model, and there were a few, between $75 and $120. We ran ours at $60 last week, dropped it to $49 for the weekend, still here. Somebody gets a steal on a piece of history this week, $39. Like it is, $64 if you want my edge on it. That's the SOG Air Midlock, made in Japan. Next up, another screaming deal. We had two of these last week. One of them sold, not this one. It's a cold steel. It is the Warcraft Tanto, a monster of a knife. Comes in the Secure X sheath with the repositionable or removable nylon dangle belt loop and security snap. No rattle. How about that? Nice secure thumb brake. See if I can do this without knocking everything over. You have a very long blade. 11.5 inches of stone-washed 4034 stainless steel. Saber hollow ground on the main bevel and then flat at the front. The scales are removable FRN scales with molded in texture. You have an exposed full tang at the back for an impact device and a lanyard hole. The handle is 5.5 inches. It is like new in box. These are available on Amazon for $153. We ran ours last week at $125. Sold one, didn't sell this one. Dropped it to $110 for the weekend, didn't sell. Your price this week, $99, shipped priority mail, and I think it's probably going to cost $17 or $18 to ship this. So you're probably buying it for like $81 or $82. That's the cold steel Warcraft Tanto, and it's $139 if you'd like my edge on it. Next up, we got one from Work Tough Gear. Another big old knife. Comes in this big old box. We actually have two of these. The first one you're going to see is the black-handled Kaviaz, K-A-V-I-A-Z. Kind of a Peter Kohler looking handle. Nice fold-over Kydex sheath with a tech lock. Just the slightest bit of rattle, but nice and secure. Heavy thumb brake. And here's the blade. It is a harpoon clip with a recurve. Crafted in SK85, which is like Japanese 1085. It is wearing a convex, very refined edge by TheApostleP Knife Service. The handle is black canvas micarta. The blade is 10 1/8. The handle 6 3/4. Lots of room for your hand to move around in various grips, even a forward choil. Looks like that stock is probably, I don't know, 212 maybe. Bigger than 3/16, might be a quarter. And a nice 90-degree spine. with a sharp corner. So let's see, these are out of stock, and this is near mint. The only thing making it not like new is that it has been sharpened. When they were available, they were about $260, and then $45 my consignor paid to have me sharpened, so he had over $300 in this blade. It can be yours, all in, shipped, priority mail, $185. No need to sharpen. And that'll be in your inventory as Work Tough Gear Kaviaz Black Canvas TAP. Next up, same big box, same knife, only this one's got an OD green canvas micarta handle. Kydex sheath, tech lock. It is the Work Tough Kaviaz. I don't know if that's how you say it, but yeah. So you got a 10 1/8 inch blade in bead blasted SK85 or Japanese 1085 steel. High, flat grind, convex edge, polished, applied by TheApostleP Knife Service. Nice harpoon clip. 6 3/4 inch handle in OD green canvas micarta. Looks like the scales are removable. These are out of stock at Work Tough. They were about $260 when they were available, and then this consignor paid me to sharpen, paid me $45 to sharpen it, by the way. So he had over $300 in this knife. It is still basically in like new condition with a way better than factory edge. Let's do $185 shipped priority mail. No need to sharpen on the Work Tough Gear Kaviaz OD canvas with the TAP edge. Put you back in your home. All right. Next up, oh, this is a cool knife from a maker I have not seen before. In Solingen, Germany, Eickhorn is your manufacturer. And this is definitely a military themed knife. It might even be used by the military. It's the Eickhorn Recondo 4 Dagger. Comes in a Mali compatible Cordura sheath with a heavy polymer scabbard that is removable from the backing. So one cross strap, nice snap, and it fits so nicely. So we have a black coated dagger blade, double edged of course, combo on both sides. Blade steel on the Recondo is I think this is a Krupp's product 1.4110 SS stainless steel. The handle is removable, and you can see it is a full tang knife just wrapped by the polymer. I think you just take that screw out that goes all the way through and it slides right off for cleaning and maintenance. Nice guard, double-sided. Blade length is 7, handle length is 5 1/4. We'll say like new in box. Might be a little bit of sheath wear in the coating right there, maybe. Anywho, these are out of stock. When they were available at a web retail of $235. Just check this out, guys. It's just, I don't know if you can pick this up, but it is solid. It's like there's a lining in there. Very, very well made sheet. Very nice package. Let's do $175 like it is. $210. I will sharpen both plane edges. The serrations need no help on this one. That's the Eickhorn Recondo 4 Dagger. Next up, got one from a Norwegian maker. Helle knives. I don't know if that's how you say it. This is the Earth model. Comes in a big old GEC tube. Pretty cool little package. Leather sheath. Plastic snap that kind of wraps the knife. And out she comes. There we go. Let me wipe that sheath dust off of there. So Helle lists this blade steel as triple laminated stainless steel. Not sure what that is. Satin flats You can see the demarcation line. So it looks like a hard central core, and then two thick layers of cladding, one on either side. Scandi grind. Blade steel is 3.5, and then the handle is in curly birch. I don't believe it's pinned. I'm not sure how that is affixed in there, but definitely a woodworking knife. Nice satin finish on that birch. Isn't that gorgeous? Let's see. We'll call it near mint to like new in tube. They're out of stock. When they were available, they were $130 web retail. And we're not going to hold you up on this one. How about we do $75, shipped priority mail on the Helle Earth Scandi ground. Oh, and there's a nice cloth inside the tube as well. All right, next up, here is a well-loved Tops knife. The sheath obviously has been kicking around for a while. Standard Tops fare, Molly compatible. Pouch on the front. Don't think there's anything in it. Velcro closures. Here's the knife. It is the Lone Falcon from Tops. Got your standard traction coating, crinkle coat, 1095 blade, 6 1/4 inches in length, 5 5/8 inch handle. That's listed as black linen micarta. Let's see. I don't know. It might be black. White liners. Removable, of course. Now the cross guard is in the blade, right, in the tang, but then there are some FRN overlays, and one of them has chipped off. So guess what? This is going to be cheap. I don't know what these were. They've been discontinued for a long time. This was probably, what, $180, $190 knife. Let's do $55, shipped priority mail. $90 if you would like my edge on it. That's a great truck knife right there. The Lone Falcon from Tops. Oh, by the way, you're also going to get a brother-in-law knife. Leather sheath, very complicated handle. Oh, and it's Pakistanamascus. Yeah, how about that? You get that one for free. There's a great white elephant gift, right? Because let's face it, it's garbage. But you know, who knows? Maybe you got a trailer park dwelling brother-in-law that would like to put this up on the shelf on top of his kitchen cupboards or something. I don't know. But I'm throwing that one in with the Lone Falcon. All right, next up, time to move on to more serious matters. We got one from Microtech. Yes, we do. The knife inside is the 227-3T Dirac Delta double-edged serrated. So standard Microtech fare, black, hard anodized aluminum handle. Your standard, I guess you'd call that I don't know, you know where the clip goes. Is it tip up? Is it tip down? I guess it's tip down, but it's sort of tip up. Made in March of 23, serial number 8151. Side mounted deployment button. So one edge fully plain, one edge sort of fully serrated except the point. Satin flats, DLC bevels. Blade length is 3 3/4, handle 5 1/8. Double action out the front. I'm going to say the button effort is medium firm, 100% reliable. I'm going to say this is like new to near, or near mint to like new. I can't tell if there's a little tiny bit of wear on the end of the clip or not, but there might be. I kind of like the side mounted button, frankly, because I think it puts your hand in a more natural position after you open it. That's me. So price of these brand new, $400 web retail. Let's go $325 shipped priority mail on this one. No need to sharpen. That is the Dirac Delta from Microtech. Next up, a very cool knife from Quiet Carry. It is, of course, their flagship, the Drift. A super cool little package. Everything stonewashed. The blade in Vanex Super Clean. The handle in 6AL4V titanium. We got a steel inserted titanium frame lock with over travel stop built in. Right hand tip up deep carry wire clip. Phosphor bronze washers and thumb studs, just like God intended it. The Vanex Super Clean is a very high wear resistance, very stainless steel. 3 inches of blade, 3 and 15/16 inches of handle. There is your lock engagement, nice and secure, rock solid. Silky smooth phosphor bronze action, perfect blade centering, great detent, just a super well done knife. We'll call it near mint, 2 like new in box. Price of these web retail brand new is $300. Let's do this one at $220 like it is, $250 with an Apostle P edge. That's the Drift from Quiet Carry. Next up, I teased you guys about this. Don't nap on it, I'm telling you boys, because it might just end up in my collection. It's a watch, minimalist packaging. It is from Marathon. Reference number WW194006SS-0530, otherwise known as the GSAR 41 Arctic. Here we go. I wore this in my heads up video yesterday. Here's what you got. 41 millimeters diameter measured at the bezel. You can see that the bezel overhangs the case. The case is probably 38.5. Lug to lug 48. Thickness 13.5. And the lug width is 20. It is operating with the Sellita SW200 movement with date at 4:30 and a color match date wheel. The crystal is sapphire. The water resistance is 300 meters. We got 15 tritium tubes, 1 at each hour and 1 on each of the 3 hands. The bezel lume pip is in Superluminova in a triangle. It is on the factory Marathon rubber strap. I wore this for the last day. It is awesome. Bezel is 120 click. Unidirectional, nice audible clicks, great feel, a little bit of back play, but it's a Marathon. It is a Tuff user Thule watch. Near mint to like new in box. My observed accuracy in the last 24 hours is about +10. These are currently available between $1,350 and $1,500 on the web, but they probably won't be available for long because they never stay available. We're doing this one for, I'm shocked, $840. That's the Marathon GSAR Arctic 41 millimeter automatic. Next up, we have a very interesting package. It's a watch from a company known as, if I can even get it in frame, Swiss Legend. Swiss Legend. Inside this box is all kinds of stuff. I got papers. I got an inner box that's a very nice lacquered box. It is also a winder. Don't know if you can see that, but it is. And I believe the electricals are over here in this red box. Sorry it doesn't all get on camera, but it's a big hunk of stuff. So the box is a winder because it's an automatic chronograph. Let's see if I can get this all back together without breaking something. It's so hard. It isn't easy being green. Oh. Okay, let's get the watch for you. Comes on this pillow. Oh. And here's the big boy. Let's pop that out a little bit. It is running. Let me give it a shake. Let's see how we doing. Huh, pretty good. Keeping very good time. So, this is the Swiss Legend Militaire 1 automatic chronograph running a Valjoux 7750 movement with automatic module. It is a sandwich dial watch. I think you can see that. The blue lume glows okay. It's not superb, but it's okay. But that's not why you buy this watch. It is wearing a sapphire crystal, and if I can get the light to hit it right, it's got a couple chips in it. The case is black PVD coated stainless steel. The diameter is 53 millimeters. The lug to lug is 63. The thickness is 16, which is pretty standard for an automatic chronograph movement. The lug width is 26. It does come on the factory Swiss Legend rubber strap. And it has a display case back, or a half display case back. I think that might show you the column wheel, but I didn't look closely. And it's running pretty good. I think it's running about +7 seconds. I don't know if it's got enough wind in it to operate the chronograph, but we'll try. So your main crown is underneath that cap, and it's tiny. It's very hard to hand wind because it's so small, but it can be done. And it's also, to be honest, it's easy to get the crown out to the date position, which is, where is it? Oh, it's underneath that hand at 4 o'clock. To get it out to the hand setting position, it's difficult. You're going to need good fingernails. And then your pushers are underneath these other two caps. So let's see if I got enough wind to run the chronograph. I do! There goes the chrono hand. And let's see if it snaps back. It does. Okay. So it's a big boy, and it's got a very famous movement. And it's Swiss made. And they're out of stock. When these were last available, Joma Shop had them for $1,750, which for that movement, even though it's a big boy, that's a pretty good buy. How about this though? You can have this one. I'll call it excellent in box. Chips in the sapphire crystal are noted. $4.95 shipped priority mail. That is the Swiss Legend automatic chronograph. Next up, maybe the coolest knife I've ever seen from Fox Knives. This one comes in an inner box and an outer box and all that good stuff. Made in Italia. Comes with this big old card that explains the radius. That's this model. Overall knife of the year 2019 at Blade Show. How about that? How about that? Kind of a cool thing, I think. So we have copper infused carbon fiber scales, titanium hardware that is all anodized like a purpley copper. Very cool pivot design. Milled titanium right hand tip up pocket clip. The carbon fiber is satin and it has these milled radius slots. Very cool. The mechanism is called just a plunge lock, but interesting. You must push down the button and then you operate the knife around that arc, and the same to close. There's probably a way to get good at that. I bet there is. I don't know. But I bet you if you played with this watch in a movie, you'd get good. DLC blade in M390, 2 13/16 inches in length, 4 7/16 inches a handle. There's definitely some tension as you move around that arc, probably from the lock spring. Let's see, how's it lock up? Like a bank vault. Wow. Ball bearing pivot, if I didn't mention it. Perfect centering. Very cool knife. We'll call this one near mint to like new in box. You can buy these brand new right now at your favorite web retailer for $583. This one can be yours. How about $380? There you go. $410 if you'd like my edge on it. That is the Fox Radius carbon fiber. Next up, we got one from Brian Tighe and friends. What a cool knife. It is the Twist Tighe OTF Small. Black DLC double-edged. Such a cool little gents OTF. Would you look at that? That is gorgeous milling on the black hard anodized aluminum handle. This knife weighs nothing. Milled titanium, right hand tip down pocket clip with a ceramic ball retention sitting on some nice little pillars. Looks like we got a little carbide glass breaker in the end. How about that? Medium button effort. 100% reliability. The blade is in S35 VN, 2 3/4 in length, 4 inches of handle. It is like new in the box. When these were available, they were $370 web retail. This one can be yours for $175. No need to sharpen. The Brian Tighe and Friends Twist Tighe Automatic. Next up, it's Spydie time. Yes, it is. Looks like this was bought at Sportsman's Warehouse brand new. It is the Rubicon 2. Plain edge in carbon fiber over G10 laminate scales. I kind of like this knife a lot better than the original Rubicon. I never loved it in its original form. I thought it was bulbous and slippery. This one, not so. So you got your gorgeous Spyderco carbon fiber over G10 scales. You got an orange, I don't know if that's G10 or FRN, looks like G10, backspacer. The sort of polished PVD black clip, ball bearing flipper. My right index finger is pretty hacked up, so my flipping skills kind of suck today. Peter Carey design, sort of a low-ish hollow saber grind, tri-directional satin, beautifully done. 3 1/16 is your blade length. It's in S30V. 4 3/8 is the handle length. Titanium liner lock, very securely locked up at about 60%, but it's a thick liner. No stick. Perfect centering. Perfect lockup. Perfect action. Near mint to like new in box, leaning toward the like new. These are discontinued, not a stock when they were available. They were $234 Spyderco map pricing or web retail. Your price on this one, $175 shipped priority mail, $200 if you'd like it with my edge on it. The Rubicon 2 from Spyderco. Next up, one of the coolest modded Spydercos I think I've ever seen. Here you go. There's your box. Comes to us by way of Taiwan. It is the Spydie Chef. Oh, but not just any Spydie Chef, boys. Oh, this one has visited Knifemodders. So the titanium scales have been coated black, and I'm not sure, I'm guessing that's Cerakote with kind of a geometric and almost random anso pattern. Somehow they got hold of maybe they coated the original clip. It looks like they might have. I am getting a little scuffing in the coating underneath the clip. That's standard for the deep carry wire clip. It retains its ambidextrous nature, tip up, but check out what they did to the LC200 blade. Holy moly. So it was mirror polished and then tumbled. It almost looks like Medford cracked ice. Super cool. So, 3 5/16 of LC200N steel, super corrosion resistant, 4 5/8 inches of handle. Rock solid lockup. And this is the CQI version of the Spydie Chef. So I forget what that means. I don't know what they did. A little tiny bit of lock stick to let you know it's there. Centering is almost perfect, but not quite. At least as I'm looking at it. Not a free dropper, but nice action. So the Spydie Chef is currently available for $283 MAP price or web retail. Knifemodders were paid $300 for the handle and blade modifications. So if you bought this new and sent it to have this treatment, it'd cost you $583. You can buy this one $375 like it is, $400 if you'd like it with an ApostleP edge. That's the Spyderco Spydie Chef CQI Knifemodders. Next up, we've got one of them tubes. It is from the Tidioute line of Great Eastern Cutlery, the number 34 Camelback Congress, model 340223 in smoked amber Tex Critic. Going to come with a button and a knife. Pretty cool, isn't it? So it is an equal end, opposite end, half Congress, right? And look at that Tex acrylic that is jigged. Very cool stuff. Nickel silver bolsters, brass liners. Nice pull as I turn the page. I'm going to call that 7.5 on half stops. Closed length is 3 11/16. Look at that. And because it is a congressing blade set, just a slight swedge on the show side and then a big clearance swedge on the pile side. The Patty's Potato Peeler etch, a 1095 steel, of course. And then the secondary blade, a nice big pen. That, guys, is a very usable blade set. Strong pull, great snap. We'll call it near mint in tube, but just from the wax paper rubbing the bolsters. Really like new. These are out of stock. Sold listings on eBay running between $175 and $200. Your price for this one, $175 all in, shipped priority mail. $210. I sharpened both blades. The GEC Tidioute number 34 Camelback Congress. Beautiful, beautiful knife. And kind of different. Pretty cool. Next up, another one from Great Eastern Cutlery's Tidioute line. It's a number 74 cotton sampler, model 749123 in natural textured micarta, which is such a cool handle for a working knife. Not only do we have jigged micarta, we also have all steel construction. Steel liners, steel rat tail bolsters, which look amazing. 3 3/4 inches of closed length. Single blade is that cotton sampler blade in 1095. If I were a cotton farmer, I could tell you how to use that, but I'm not. Standard 74 stuff, 7 pull. Perfect walk and talk. I wrote close down for the centering. Now I would call it very close to perfect. So let's see, like new in tube. These are out of stock, of course. Sold listings on eBay run between $160 and $200. Buy this one for $145 like it is, $165 sharpened. The GEC Tidioute number 74 cotton sampler. Next up, I almost want to call this a save me from myself, and then but really I hope you don't buy it because I kind of like to have it. From Great Eastern Cutlery's Tidioute line, we got an 87 English Jack 871223 in hummingbird acrylic. Some of you guys who follow me might know that I owned a knife in hummingbird acrylic, but Mike Latham snatched it away from me for a customer. I let him. I just think it's the most gorgeous acrylic I've ever seen. Look at that beauty. Look at that. I mean, are you kidding? I hate acrylic and I love this. Look at the light play. You got your stylized bomb shield, smooth nickel silver bolsters and end caps, brass liners. Watch this. How's that for stunning? By the way, the closed length is 4 7/16, not a small knife. Look at that blade. I mean, look at that thing. Pull weight 7.5. Walk and talk perfect. Pen blade big, usable, awesome. The main blade looks to be perfectly centered. The pen looks like it might be off to the right very slightly. The condition like new in the tube. Or near mint, one of them. They're of course out of stock. Sold listings on eBay run between $180 and $257. This one, $160 like it is. $190 with my edge on both blades. Gosh, how gorgeous is that? It's gorgeous. Next up, it's Kershaw time. Got two of them for you. First one, made in the USA. It's the Quad 7 bare knuckle. And this is going to be a cheapie, boys, because it's got issues. So here we go. You guys know the lineage of this knife. It was a bit of a squabble between Kershaw and Microtech. I think this was the last iteration. So we've got a gray hard anodized aluminum handle, stainless steel subframe lock, ambidextrous shorty tip up deep carry pocket clip, ball bearing flipper, 14C28N steel, 3.5 inches of blade, 4 5/8 inches of handle. There's the lockup on your subframe lock. It's rock solid. Whoops. Blade centering's perfect. I will tell you that the first issue is that if you have your fingers on a lock bar, you ain't going to open that knife. It's got the Quad 7 death lock, and apparently the pivot was attempted to be adjusted and the hex started to spin in the handle. So somebody cut a slot for a screwdriver, got into the handle. It's kind of a mess. But it is what it is. We'll call it good in box. I don't think it's really been carried or used much. But it is what it is. They're out of stock. They might be discontinued. The last price at Blade HQ I could find was $73. Used ones are doing $66 to $106 in the eBay sold listings. This one can be yours, shipped priority mail, all in, $45, $70 if you'd like it with my edge on it. That's the Quad 7 bare knuckle from Kershaw. Next up, another one from Kershaw. Box has got a little dent. Made in the USA. It is a knockout and a very special, very unicorn knockout. The 1870 BLUSW. Good luck finding one of these guys. So you got your blue hard anodized aluminum scale here. You got another one over here. Looks like a DLC coated stainless steel subframe lock, 4-way deep carry clip, and it is a speed safe opener, M390 blade, wearing a polished edge, and it's quite sharp. You got 3 3/16 inches of blade, 4 3/4 inches of handle, rock solid lockup, nice and free action until you get to the spring. And the centering is dead down the middle. Condition near mint in box with a very nice polished edge. So these are long discontinued, not a stock. I don't think they made many of them. They might have been a dealer exclusive, I cannot remember. There's one sold listing on eBay. It did $159. This one can be yours, $100. No need to sharpen. That's the Kershaw 1870 BLU SW Knockout. Next up, here's kind of a blast from the recent past. It comes in this here nylon pouch with the Ferrum Forged dog tag, their Pro Line series, and the knife inside is the Fortis 2.0 first run from 2018 in S35 steel. Comes with a certificate of authenticity, and it's a very cool knife. So we have a titanium handle. I don't know if that's DLC or hard anodized, but then it's been tumbled, which is a super cool effect. Steel inserted titanium frame lock with over travel stop, milled titanium pocket clip, ambidextrous tip up, superb flipper tab, kind of bead blasted and acid stone washed finish, first production run noted, 3.5 inches of S35, 4 11/16 inches of handle. You got that position, you got the forward position, and this has been used and touched up, I will say. Near mint in box. Out of stock for a long time, obviously. 2018 first production run. They were $250 when they were available, web retail. Let's do $175 on this one. Near mint in pouch, $200 with my edge. The Fortis 2.0 from Ferrum Forge Pro Line. Next up, a super cool little Barky. Look at that cute little box. This is the Harpoon Necker in natural canvas micarta. Look at there. So this is a sheath I'm not sure Bark River's even using anymore, but it's pancake style leather, eyelets for whatever neck lanyard you'd like to carry it with. And if you notice this bulge, there is a little rectangular rare earth magnet inside. That's your retention, and it ain't going nowhere. And here's your little Harpoon Necker. Almost looks like a sharp finger, but it's sort of harpoony. That's why the name. First production run. Blade steel, CPM 20 CV. Natural canvas micarta scales. Little lanyard hole. Very cool in the hand. I mean, very cool in the hand. You just wrap. Oh, it's great. And let's see, you got 3 1/16 inches of blade back to the scale, and then measuring from the front of the scale, 3 inches of handle, but effectively it's more than that, right? Condition on this will be near mint in box. And I still found some of these available new in black canvas micarta. They were $187. This one can be yours all in, shipped priority mail, $150 like it is, $175 with my edge. That's the Bark River Harpoon Necker. Pretty cool little knife. Speaking of pretty cool little knives, next we have one from Buck. And there's your model number. It's a long one. We'll just call it the Buck 112 Slim Ranger in black G10. So Buck's been doing this a lot lately with the 110 and the 112. Pinned construction, but black G10 scales. A sort of shorty tip up deep carry pocket clip that is ambidextrous, left or right hand carry. Still a lockback, but very slim. There's your blade in S30V with the Boss heat treat. Rock solid lockup. Nice action, but a strong spring. Centering is just about dead perfect. You got 2 15/16 inches of blade, 4 3/16 inches of handle. These are out of stock. When they were available, they were $100 new, web retail. Let's do this one at $70 like it is. $95 with an ApostleP edge. That's the Buck 112 Slim Ranger and Black G10. Next up, from a manufacturer that doesn't really do packaging, but it's going to come in this very nice padded, made in USA zipper pouch. What is it? Well, there you go, boys. It's the good old SNG with OD green G10 scale, integral backspacer, black hardware, stonewash frame and clip, and there's your blade. 3 9/16 inches of S30V, stonewashed. Looks like it might have been sharpened. Handle length 4 11/16. There's your lock engagement. We always want to pay special attention to lock up on a Strider, don't we? Let's see. No lock slip. And let's see. Just that little bit of stick that we love in a Strider. Not a problem. It's just there, letting you know it's secure. Centering. What? That's pretty good for a Strider. So used and sharpened, but definitely a near mint in pouch knife. Mechanics are squared away. Let's see. Let's do 350 like it is. 375 with an ApostleP edge. Pretty nice. Next up, we've arrived at the Rob's Pick tonight, and oh, when you see the price, you're going to know why. This isn't the Rob's Pick because I love the knife. It's the Rob's Pick because it is a screaming deal. It's a hinderer. And it's the very rare full track in M390 tri-way pivot. It says spear point blade, but I see it as a clip. Stonewash finished G10 inlay. There you go. Oh, everything stonewashed, everything constructed beautifully. Of course, the scale panels are replaceable. It has that modular backspacer system. I'm not sure what that is, but what is that? You guys probably know, you hinderer guys. Bearings are installed in the tri-way pivot. See, I see that as a clip point. I just do. Blade steel is M390. The blade is stonewashed. Beautiful fuller. Titanium frame lock. Interesting, the over travel stop is the G10 inlay, which is pretty cool. Steel inserted lock face. Right hand tip up only pocket clip. Blade length 3 3/4. Handle 5 1/4. Let's see, how's it? Yeah. Beautiful. Everything looking beautiful. So we'll call it near mint in box. It's got a polished edge on it. Oh, and it's sticky sharp. They're out of stock. If you look at the sold listings on eBay, I can tell you this, there are more than one at over $1,000. And I don't think there are any even close to under 500. This one can be yours with a way better than factory edge. The Rob's Pick, $450. Are you kidding me? That's the full track from Hinderer. It's the Rob's Pick tonight. Next up, got one from Three Rivers Manufacturing. How about if I hold the box right side up? There we go. The knife inside is the Viator. I don't know how you say that. Sounds right to me. It is a slip joint. Ruby red scales, ruby red back strap. G10 is the ruby red. Got some little milled slashes in it. Pocket clip, ambidextrous tip up. Strong pull on this knife. I'm going to call it 8.5. 3 1/16 blade, 4 1/16 handle. Your blade steel is CPM 154. Three 1/16 blade, 4 1/16 handle. This knife is unobtainium. I found one sold listing on Arizona Custom Knives for $145. That was a black scaled one, I believe. This one can be yours. 95 bucks, like it is 120 with an ApostleP edge. That's the Viator from Three Rivers Manufacturing. Next up, I got a plain black pouch with a zipper. Then I've got a card, Boost Blades. It's the Smoke TS1 in S35VN, titanium handle, manufactured Holidays 2017. This will be the green anodized titanium handle, titanium backspacer with lanyard slot, right hand tip up milled titanium pocket clip, titanium frame lock with steel insert and over travel spot. Stop. It is a front flipper. Ooh, that's wearing a polished edge. I don't know why. Never mind your as sharpened price, by the way, because it doesn't need me. So 3 7/16 inches of S35, 4 9/16 inches of handle. There is your lock engagement. Early, but secure. Yep. Action is beautiful. Centering is perfect. They're out of stock. When they were available, they were $199 new. Then somebody sharpened this, probably $25 or $30 worth. But anywho, they ain't available no more. Your price for this one, $150. No need to sharpen. The Boost Blades Smoke TS1. Next up, if this knife were left-handed, you guys would never see it. It's from ProTech. It is the BR1.3 Whiskers. Some call it the magic knife. Why would they call it that? Let's see. Well, there is your hard anodized black aluminum handle with some milling in the faux bolster. There's the other side. Right hand tip up deep carry clip. Right hand. Let's see. Where's the what? There's no flipper. There's no. You can't even pull it out. What? But you can do this. What? Yes, it's a scale shifter. And you close it the same way. Yeah, it's the hidden deployment automatic. Dead centering on the blade. ProTech action. Rock solid lockup. 3 1/8" blade and 154 cm. Wearing a polished edge and a pretty nicely done one. We're not gonna sharpen this one. 3 1/8" blade, 4-inch handle, very efficient blade to handle ratio. Let's see, near mint in box, out of stock at $265 web retail. If you want to buy a new and can't, how about we just do $150 on this one, like it is, no need to sharpen. The Whiskers from ProTech. Next up, it's ZT time. The knife inside is the ZT-0357 in G10. The in-house design. You know, Kershaw's been making variations of this handle and blade shape for a long time, whether it's Kershaw or ZT, and it still works. So some nicely milled G10, fine texture on the flats. Deep carry pocket clip, ambidextrous. Nice lanyard hole. Ouch. I gotta quit using that right finger. There we go. Speed safe, spring assisted deployment, 20 CV blade, acid stonewashed, 3 1/4" blade, 4 7/16 handle, thick stainless steel liner lock mechanism, rock solid lockup. Almost perfect blade centering as it's sitting right now. Might favor the right side a little bit. You might loosen up the pivot and get that perfect. Let's see. We'll call it near mint in box with the polished edge. Price of these brand new, $188 web retail. Let's do $125 on this one. Shipped priority mail. No need to sharpen. Next up. You know, I'm always looking for my next bug out, and this was almost it. From Benchmade, it started life as a standard 535 bug out. However, there's been some Frankensteining going on. When I first looked at it, I thought, It's a carbon fiber S90V bug out, but no. Notice those scales are not crowned. Those are not Benchmade scales. I don't know whose they are. There are also no lefty clip holes, which means it ain't going to be my next bug out. You got a shorty parkerized deep carry clip, right hand tip up only. Blue hardware, definitely stolen from the carbon fiber S90V bug out, but this blade is S30V. Right, 3 3/16 blade, 4 3/16 handle. Rock solid lockup. Let's see. Not quite a free dropper, but certainly a flinger. Blade centering dead. Wearing a polished edge, near mint, inbox. Your price? Dang, that's cheap. $125 all in, shipped priority mail. That's a buy, boys. Next up, another screaming deal on a Benchmade. This is the 560 BK-1801 Freak, not the -1 Super Freak. This, I think, predated the Super Freak. Limited edition, Jade G10, but milled like a Super Freak. Gear pattern, toxic green backspacer. Gray, what do they call that? Zirconium oxide or something? I don't think that's Cerakote on the split arrow clip. It's like the bug out GRY-1, that finish. The blade, though, is gray Cerakoted in CPM M4. Limited edition, 265 out of 500. So let's see, 3 9/16 blade, 4 7/8 handle, rock solid axis lock lockup, free dropping blade. Centering is dead. Condition, very near mint in box, wearing a polished edge, no need to sharpen. Discontinued, out of stock, sold listings on eBay ranging between $265 and $503. How about $200? Shipped priority mail. Yeah. Next up, it's Spydie time. You know, they've been making this knife for a long time in this configuration, and they're now discontinued and out of stock. It's an Endura FFG, British Racing Green, and ZDP 189. Let me give it a quick little wipe for you boys. Ooh. Yes, sirree, Bob. Now, the clip has been satined by the owner, and he ran into some difficulty back here, but Spydie clips are ubiquitous and cheap or free. There we go. And it has been sharpened, and I'm going to say not as good a job as I would do. 3 13/16 blade, 4 15/16 handle. Rock solid midlock lockup. Strong spring in this one, but nice action. Perfect centering. Since these are discontinued and out of stock, they have gone up in price. Sold listings on eBay ranging between $106 and $140. They're gone. New. You can't buy one. This one, let's do $100 like it is. $125 with my edge. That's the Endura FFG BRG for British Racing Green and ZDP. Next up, that brings us to the last knife in tonight's sale. It's the little sister from Spyderco. This will be a Delica FFG in British Racing Green and ZDP 189. There's that. Same consignor, same clip treatment. He took the black off. I don't know why they ever put a black clip on this knife, but anyway. Midlock design, rock solid lockup, nice action. Centering is close but not perfect. Lockup is dead rock solid. 2 15/16 inches of ZDP 189, 3 3/16 inches of British Racing Green FRN. These are now discontinued and out of stock. Gone, maybe forever. Sold listings on eBay running between $116 and $135. This has been used and sharpened. I could do better, but it is sharp. So let's see. Sold listings on eBay between 116 and 135. Let's do 90 bucks on this one. 115 if you'd like it with my edge. That's the Delica FFG BRG ZDP. And that, my friends, brings us to the end of another weekly knife sale on the Apostle P channel. Hope you enjoyed it. I sure did. Grace to you and peace, my friends, from God our Father and the Lord Jesus Christ. Remember, the word is sharp. Now go get you some deals.